If you are listening right now, this episode is for you.
Yes, especially if English feels difficult sometimes.
Don't worry, we've all been there.
Hello everyone, I'm James.
And I'm Amelia. Welcome to Learning English Studio.
Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and like this podcast.
It really supports us and helps this show grow.
All right, Amelia, what's today's topic?
Let's get started. Today we're going to talk about something incredibly useful, how to describe people in English using simple words. This is such a fundamental skill that you'll use in everyday conversations, whether you're talking about family, friends, colleagues, or even characters in movies or books.
Absolutely. And I think what makes this topic so important is that describing people is something we do naturally all the time. It helps us share information, express our feelings, and connect with others through shared experiences and observations.
That's so true. And the great thing about learning to describe people is that it opens up so many possibilities for conversation. Once you can describe someone's physical appearance and personality, you can tell stories, share opinions, and really express yourself in English.
Exactly. And today we're going to focus on simple, everyday words that any English learner can use. We want to give you practical vocabulary that you can start using right away, not complicated words that you'll forget tomorrow.
I love that approach. Let's start with the basics, describing physical appearance. What are some simple words our listeners should know?
Good question. For height, we have basic words like tall and short. For build, we have thin, slim, heavy, or strong. For hair, we can describe color with words like black, brown, blonde, red, or gray, and style with long, short, curly, straight, or wavy.
Those are perfect. And for eyes, we have colors like blue, green, brown, or black. For age, we can use words like young, middle-aged, or old, or more specific terms like teenager or in his or her 20s, 30s, etc.
Exactly. And we can describe general appearance with words like attractive, beautiful, handsome for men, pretty for women, cute, good-looking, or plain.
Those are great. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you describe someone using these words?
Sure. Let me describe my brother. He is tall and slim. He has short brown hair and green eyes. He is in his late 20s, and many people say he is handsome. He wears glasses and has a small scar above his left eyebrow from when he fell off his bike as a child.
That's a great description. You used excellent vocabulary. Tall, slim, short brown hair, green eyes, late 20s, handsome, wears glasses, small scar, above, left eyebrow, fell off, and bike.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you describe someone?
Of course. Let me describe my best friend. She's of medium height and has a slim build. She has long, curly blonde hair and beautiful blue eyes. She's in her early 30s and very pretty. She has a small, round face with a few freckles on her nose and cheeks.
That's a lovely description. You used great vocabulary. Medium height, slim build, long, curly blonde hair, beautiful blue eyes. Early 30s, pretty, small round face, freckles, nose, and cheeks.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice describing physical appearance because it's such a common topic of conversation.
Exactly. Let's move on to describing personality. What are some simple words for that?
Good question. For positive personality traits, we have words like kind, nice, friendly, helpful, generous, honest, loyal, funny, smart, creative, hardworking, and responsible.
Those are perfect. And for more neutral or mixed traits, we have words like quiet, shy, talkative, serious, sensitive, independent, stubborn, or ambitious.
Those are great. And for negative traits, we have words like mean, rude, lazy, selfish, dishonest, unreliable, bossy, or impatient.
Exactly. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you describe someone's personality using these words? Sure. Let me describe my father. He is one of the kindest people I know. He is always friendly and helpful to everyone he meets. He is very hardworking and responsible. He never misses a day of work. Sometimes he can be a bit stubborn, but he is also very fair and honest. He has a great sense of humor and can always make people laugh.
That's such a warm description. You used excellent vocabulary. kindest, friendly, helpful, hardworking, responsible, never misses, stubborn, fair, honest, great sense of humor, and make people laugh.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you describe someone?
Of course. Let me describe my English teacher from high school. She was very patient and creative. She always made learning fun with interesting activities. She was also very encouraging. She believed in her students even when they didn't believe in themselves. She could be a bit strict sometimes, but it was only because she wanted us to do our best. She was one of the most dedicated teachers I've ever had.
That sounds like a wonderful teacher. You used great vocabulary, patient, creative, made learning fun, interesting activities, encouraging, believed in, students, strict, sometimes, do our best, and dedicated.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice describing personality because it helps us express our feelings and opinions about people.
Exactly. Let's think about how to describe what people like or don't like.
Good idea. We can use he, she, likes, loves, enjoys, followed by a noun or gerund, verb plus ing. For example, she likes music, or he enjoys playing football.
Those are perfect. And we can use he, she doesn't like or hate for things people don't enjoy. For example, she doesn't like horror movies, or he hates getting up early.
Those are great. And we can use he, she is interested in, or he, she is good at to talk about interests and abilities. For example, she's interested in art, or he's good at math.
Exactly. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you describe what someone likes or is good at? Sure. Let me describe my sister. She loves reading and usually finishes 2 or 3 books a week. She is very good at languages and can speak 3 languages fluently. She is interested in history and often visits museums. She doesn't like sports very much, but she enjoys watching dance performances. She also loves cooking and is especially good at making Italian food.
That's such an interesting description. You used excellent vocabulary. Loves reading, finishes, books a week, good at languages, speak fluently, interested in history, visits museums, doesn't like sports, enjoys watching dance performances, loves cooking, and good at making.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you describe someone likes or is good at?
Of course. Let me describe my cousin. He loves technology and is always buying the latest gadgets. He's very good at fixing computers. All our family members ask him for help when their devices have problems. He's interested in photography and takes amazing photos of nature. He doesn't like crowded places, so he enjoys hiking in remote areas. He also enjoys playing video games and is very good at strategy games.
That sounds like a talented cousin. You used great vocabulary. Loves technology, buying the latest gadgets, good at fixing computers, family members ask for help, devices, problems, interested in photography, takes amazing photos of nature, doesn't like crowded places, enjoys hiking in remote areas, playing video games, and good at.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice describing what people like or are good at because it helps us understand and connect with others.
Exactly. Let's think about some common sentence structures we can use when describing people.
Good idea. We can use he, she, has for physical features. For example, she has blue eyes, or he has a big smile.
Those are perfect. And we can use he, she is for personality or general appearance. For example, she is kind or he is tall.
Those are great. And we can use he, she wears for clothing or accessories. For example, she wears glasses or he wears a suit to work.
Exactly. And we can use he, she looks to give an impression. For example, she looks happy or he looks tired.
Those are perfect. And we can use he, she seems to give a more tentative impression. For example, she seems friendly or he seems busy.
Exactly. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you describe someone using these different sentence structures? Sure. Let me describe my neighbor. He is about 60 years old and has white hair and a beard. He is tall and a bit heavy. He always wears a baseball cap and comfortable clothes. He looks very friendly and always says hello when we meet. He seems to be a kind person because he often helps his neighbors with their gardens. He likes to work outside, and you can usually see him taking care of his flowers in the morning.
That's such a detailed description. You used excellent sentence structures. He is, has, wears, looks, seems to be, and likes to work. And you used great vocabulary. 60 years old, white hair, beard, tall, heavy, always wears, baseball cap, comfortable clothes, looks friendly, says hello, seems to be, kind person, helps, neighbors, gardens, likes to work, usually see, taking care of flowers.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you describe someone using these different sentence structures?
Of course. Let me describe my manager at work. She is in her 40s and has short, dark hair. She is of medium height and always dresses very professionally. She wears glasses and often carries a leather bag. She looks very serious when she is working, but she has a warm smile when she talks to you. She seems to be very organized because her desk is always neat. She is very good at her job and seems to care about her employees. She likes to drink coffee, and you can usually see her with a cup in her hand during meetings.
That's such a professional description. You used great sentence structures. She is, has, dresses, wears, carries, looks, has, seems to be, is very good at, seems to care, and likes to drink. And you used excellent vocabulary. 40s, short dark hair, medium height, dresses, professionally, wears glasses, carries leather bag, looks serious, working, warm smile, talks to you, seems to be, organized, desk, neat, good at, job, seems to care, employees, likes to drink, usually see, cup, and hand.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice using different sentence structures because it makes your descriptions more varied and interesting.
Exactly. Let's think about some common mistakes that learners make when describing people. That could be really helpful for our listeners.
Good question. I think one common mistake is using the wrong adjective order. In English, there's a general order for adjectives before a noun: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. So we say a beautiful, small, old, round, red Chinese wooden table, not a wooden, red, old, round, small, beautiful Chinese table.
That's such an important point. And another common mistake is using the wrong verb with descriptions. For example, saying, he has tall instead of he is tall, or she is kind eyes instead of she has kind eyes.
Oh, that's a big one. And another mistake is using the wrong prepositions with descriptions, like saying he is good in math instead of he is good at math, or she is interested on art instead of she is interested in art.
Exactly. And I think another common mistake is using only basic adjectives like good or nice when there's so many more specific and descriptive words available.
Those are perfect examples. And I think it's important to mention that it's okay to keep things simple when you're starting out. You don't need to use complex sentences or advanced vocabulary to communicate effectively when describing people.
Absolutely. Language learning is a journey, and every step forward is progress. Even being able to say, he is tall, he has brown hair, he is nice, is a great achievement for a beginner.
That's so true. And as you become more confident, you can gradually add more detail and complexity to your descriptions. It's all about building on what you already know.
Exactly. Let's think about some more advanced vocabulary for describing people.
Good idea. For appearance, we could use words like slender, thin in an attractive way, stocky, short and heavy, well-built, strong and healthy, elegant, graceful and stylish, plain, not especially attractive, or striking, unusually attractive or interesting.
Those are perfect. For personality, we could use words like outgoing, friendly and energetic, introverted, more interested in own thoughts than in being with other people, conscientious, careful to do what is right, easygoing, relaxed and not easily worried, moody, often changing between happy and sad, or sophisticated, having a lot of experience of the world and culture.
Those are great. And we could use more specific verbs and expressions, like he has a great sense of humor, or she has a way with words, or he has a heart of gold.
I like has a heart of gold. That's such a lovely expression. And you could say, she's a ray of sunshine, very happy and positive. Or he's a diamond in the rough, someone who seems ordinary at first but has special qualities.
Those are perfect examples. let's think about some cultural differences in describing people. That could be really interesting for our listeners.
Oh, definitely. In some cultures, it's common to be very direct when describing people's appearance, while in others, it might be considered rude to comment on someone's physical characteristics.
That's so true. And the words considered positive or negative can vary between cultures. For example, in some cultures, being thin is considered very attractive, while in others, heavy or curvy might be seen as more beautiful.
Exactly. And I think it's great for learners to be aware of these cultural differences, especially when they're talking about people from different backgrounds.
Absolutely. And it's also interesting to think about how we describe people differently depending on the context. We might use different words when describing a friend versus a colleague, or when writing a formal description versus having a casual conversation.
That's such an important point. Register, the level of formality, is so important in English. You might say, my colleague is a diligent professional in a work context, but my friend is really hardworking in a casual conversation.
That's so true. Let's think about some practice activities our listeners could do to improve their ability to describe people.
Good idea. Well, the obvious one is to describe people you know, family members, friends, colleagues, or even famous people. Start simple and gradually add more detail.
That's a great start. And you could also try to describe characters in books, movies, or TV shows. That's good practice because you can check your descriptions against how the character is actually portrayed.
Absolutely. And you could play a description game with a language partner. One person describes someone and the other tries to guess who it is.
I love that idea. And you could also try to write descriptions of people and then ask a native speaker or teacher to check them for you.
Exactly. And for more advanced learners, you could try to write character descriptions for a story or create detailed profiles of imaginary people. That's a great way to practice more complex sentences and vocabulary.
Those are all fantastic suggestions. I think the key is to make it relevant and personal to you. If you're describing someone you know well or a character you love, you'll be more motivated to find the right words to express yourself.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve. That's how we all learn, isn't it?
That's so true. I think it's helpful to remember that even native speakers sometimes struggle to find the right words when describing people. It's a complex skill that takes practice.
Exactly. The goal is communication, not perfection. As long as people can understand who you're talking about and what you think about them, you're succeeding.
That's such an important perspective. Well, James, we've covered so much ground today, from basic vocabulary to advanced structures, from common mistakes to cultural differences.
We really have, and I hope our listeners have found it helpful and inspiring. Remember, describing people is such a practical and useful skill in English.
Absolutely, and it's a great way to share your observations and feelings about the people in your life. Everyone needs to describe people, so it's a skill that connects us all.
Exactly. So keep practicing, keep learning, and don't be afraid to describe people in English.
That's perfect advice. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us on Learning English Studio.
Yes, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into describing people in English. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our podcast if you found it helpful.
We'll be back next week with another useful topic for English learners. Until then, keep practicing and notice all the interesting people around you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.